Welcome. Lovely evening. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. My name is Fentu. Tahiru Fentu. Over the next 90 minutes, we've got a lot to share with you here. Playback here in Ghana. Kotoko crowned champions. It's a party in Kumasi on the day they were crowned the champions of the Ghana Premier League. Their rivals, House of Oak, were thrashed, of course, by their city rivals, Great Olympics. We'll play back some action for you from that. There have been champions to talk about as well. In the Division 1 League, Kotoko Royals have gained a historic promotion into the Ghana Premier League for the first time in the club's history. They have now joined Samatex, two teams promoted already. While in Zone 1, it's heading for a playoff between Inswatreman and Tamale City to determine who gets promoted to join Samatex and Kotoko Royals. We'll look back on what has been an incredible weekend of action in the Division 1 League as well. In the Women's League, well, there was FA Cup final action in Kumasi, and Ampem ladies did the double over Hazakis ladies. Who saw that coming? Ghanaian athletes are making the country proud all the way in Mauritius. There is also boxing. Samuel Techi was in action. Plus, so much more to come here. F1 as well as some UEFA Nations League matches to come here on the show. But also tonight, we'll talk about what has been what will be the next 2 weeks of incredible action involving legends. There was one game played yesterday. There will be another this weekend. We'll tell you all about it here on the show. You can get involved. It's interactive on social media, of course. Let me know. Use the hashtag Scorecard on Twitter. Let me hear from you. I'm sure you've seen the Kotoko medals. Let me know what you make of them. Also, one thing that I'm sure you have a lot to say about is the Kirin Cup result between Japan and Ghana. Ghana getting thrashed 4-1. Let me know what you make of that. They're in action again on Tuesday, and we'll see what happens there. Also, the Under-17, they were also in action in the WAFU Zone B Championship, also thrashed by Nigeria. So let me hear from you. Use the hashtag Scorecard on Twitter. I'll read all of your messages, share them with the rest of our viewers from across the continent. Also, alternatively, you can send me a message on WhatsApp if that's your preferred platform. Let me hear from you. The number is on your screen, +233 550 585832. My name is Fentu, Tahiru Fentu. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, I will introduce my very special guest and we can get the show on the road. Back, this is Scorecard on Citi TV. All right, it's a very special evening today because one man that you used to see on your screens a very long time ago, heard him on radio many times, then on Metro TV many times, took a bit of a hiatus or a break, if you like, for 5 years. It's not been on Ghanaian TV or radio, but somehow I have managed to drag him here. Mr. Ernest Cranton. How are you? It's been a very long time.
I'm well, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get used to.
Get used to
being in the studio.
It
And
doesn't take any new getting used to.
yeah, but the light and the makeup, the light,
The whole routine.
Yeah, the light and the makeup, but they made it easy with the powder.
You're looking nice.
Yeah, thank you. It reminds me of the powder. And back then I did shows in the night, back at Multimedia and back at Metro. I had shows at 9 p.m.
Yes.
And I've seen a colleague I worked with many years ago for a number of
John
years. John, and you put the powder and you're sitting there at 9 p.m. And here we are, it's 9 p.m.
It's almost come full circle. Huh?
Yeah, and the last time I saw on TV, it was a 9 p.m. show as well. I'm sure John will remember. It was the last time I did a program on TV. It was with, what's his name? The Deputy Sports Minister at the time.
5 years ago, you're talking Pius?
Almost 5 years. Pius Hajide. It was also a 9 p.m. program like this. It was an emotional night after or nearly 2 decades.
Because you were saying goodbye.
Yeah. It was the last show. And I didn't expect to get back on TV so quickly. But we there are things to do, so we'll try and get it over the line and then see how it goes. So thank you for the opportunity, and thanks to my,
it's a pleasure.
You see my little brother too.
That's the funniest thing, because that moment when one Cranton was exiting, one was entering.
Yes. You know, when I got back recently, I got a few people ask, "Oh, Charlie, your kid brother is doing well, pal." I said, "Oh, that's nice, pal." You know, so it's nice. It's nice to see everything Danny is doing, and congratulations to him and to you, of course, the boss who continues to give all of us the opportunity to talk on the radio and the TV. One of my bosses many years ago said to me, this was nearly 15 years or so ago. He said, "Listen, we're in this business to create stars. You know, so you're doing your job, excuse me, of creating stars, and Danny obviously is one of them, and the entire Omni Group and all of the opportunities you continue to create for young people. You know, we don't have to take these things for granted, because but for TV, but for radio, I'm sure some of us won't be.
Of course.
Here,
you know, but it's worth pointing out that the two of you aren't actually siblings.
No, not necessarily.
Apart from you, he also gets that a lot.
Yeah.
Daniel, you get asked that a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Maybe a lot more. But maybe it's also testament to me having paid my dues in the industry.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, and I'm sure it may have created some opportunities.
You know, because if he was doing some nyatins, they would have
They would have given, and I'm sure
somebody will see one day. Ernest, tell it, your brother.
Your kid brother how? But also, but also, if we hadn't tried to pay the price a bit, I'm sure that maybe I don't know, but we thank God for this opportunity.
It's all glory to God. Thank you. Welcome, Daniel. Welcome. How are you? You had a good weekend?
Yeah, great weekend. You grow up watching somebody like this, you elevate him to a high esteem, and you have an opportunity to sit here and share your views. It's honestly an honor. This is my home, but
Charlie, this is a shock, pal.
The
guy is trying to.
That's the funniest thing, because when I was on Legon campus, Ernest was on radio, and I used to listen to him every weekend.
God have mercy on me.
Every Monday as well.
God have mercy on me.
But
don't make it look like I'm an old man.
We're doing all the best to make you feel old. So don't worry.
But I'm not an old man. Take it easy on me.
Listen, Kotoko just completed their game against Sharks. They thumped them by 3-0. It was celebratory. It was the day they were crowned champions, given the trophy. And the stadium, look at the absolute scenes inside the stadium. It was going mad. It was going crazy. Look at this. What's happening here?
Oh la la.
Oh God.
Oh la la.
It is phenomenal, isn't it? This was full time, just moments ago, because the game was played at 6:30 p.m. So this was literally moments ago when the final whistle went. And look at that, unbelievable. The Kotoko fans deserve this, Daniel. I'm going to begin with you. It's a party. They brought Kwame Eugene to perform, even before kickoff. Mfege scored twice. Imoru scored the other goal. So obviously, Etuga didn't get to score. That was by Occupying Warriors, and the fans getting to celebrate on a Sunday night. I wish this was a Friday night, because then most of these people know I've got
sets the mood for the weekend. But look, it's well done to Kotoko, especially the way last season ended. They would have it really hurt them to lose the title in the manner that they lost it. You go back to that decisive game between themselves and Hearts of Oak, and that very telling statement Nana Yamponsa made at the end of the season, where he said he really felt that they would have won the league had they played in front of their home fans. And then at the end of last season, Kotoko is granted access into the Baba Yara Stadium, and then they do this, win the league with style. It just shows you that he had a point. He had a point last season. When you play all your home games away from home, but you still come agonizingly close and it's snatched away from you. Then the immediate following season, you go on, you get a new team. It's almost a new head coach. You bring in a bunch of players, and you're able to produce this at this level. And it was week in, week out. And I always congratulate teams who win the league like this, because it's very hard to keep your mentality at the top level, especially when it looks like you've already won it.
Yeah.
But for them to keep on going, and then to treat the fans with the performance they did today, it's just the perfect way to end the season. And it's hats off to them. We've been saying hats off to them for the past
of course.
few months. But look,
this party they deserve.
They really deserve it. The fans deserve it. The management deserve it. The players deserve it. And I honestly want to tip my hats off to Nana Amponsa because he's done some brilliant stuff as a CEO of this club. He's changed the entire brand in Kotoko, from their social media. Everything has changed under him. And for him
taking it a notch higher.
For him to get tangible in terms of a trophy to show for his work, it's really good for him, and it's very good for the club too.
Ernest, a first trophy for them since 2014, the last time they won the league title. Yeah, you have to go back 8 years. It's a long time.
For Asante Kotoko?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Very long time.
I've forgotten a lot of my sports literature.
I know. But
but 8 years is a long time. I thought they won it, 2-3 years ago?
No,
8 years ago.
Okay,
so those ones were not necessarily.
That's a stopgap competition.
Yeah, full season Premier League titles. But we have to congratulate Asante Kotoko for what they've done. They replicated what Hearts of Oak did last season. Hearts of Oak also won the Premier League with a new coach, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A new coach, but a completely new team. Yeah. This team is almost new. 80 to 90% of the team. The doctor of books, the doctor of books owned the team. He had issues from the beginning, but they had a flawless run at the start of the season. Yeah. And I remember when he was trying to put the whole team together and their tour of the United Arab Emirates and all of the rhetoric.
People made fun of them.
Yes,
they said they didn't win one game.
So if we're congratulating Kotoko today, we can break it down into 3 main parts. One, the technical team and the players, and what they have done. We've got to applaud them. Then the management led by Nanaya Amponsa. We met few weeks ago, and we're having a conversation, and he mentioned, he also had the opportunity to go study for his terminal degree, and just around the time he got the Kotoko appointment, so he thought he would put that on hold. And I said to him that, man, this is what you're doing with Asante Kotoko. If you stay another 2 or 3 years, that will be equivalent to being in the classroom for a terminal degree. So he's done well. But also, let's look at the people he's associating with. I heard Danny talk about Nanayao changing everything about Asante Kotoko, etc., etc. I don't remember. I don't forget my literature in that regard. But we remember a certain Herbert Amponsa Mensah in the late 90s. Was it 99, 2000? About when he took over Asante Kotoko. Almost all of the things Nanayao is doing today, we've seen Herbert do, or we saw Herbert do back then. 20?
He has a good relationship with
20
Herbert,
years ago. That was the point I was driving at. That he's good friends with Herbert. Herbert is like a godfather. He's referring to him all the time. He's running to him. So this is what happens when you have people who have been there before, seen it, done it, and you can learn from them. Because for many years, Asante Kotoko would always have that issue with transition, so that if there's a new management, there's always a friction between what the new management is doing and what the old people did. He seems to at least have brought Herbert Mensah on board. There are other people who administered Kotoko years ago. So maybe with time, he'll find ways of relating with them and getting them to also share their experiences to help him. He's won a trophy. We've got to applaud him for what he's done. And then the third part and final part is the followers of the club, the fans. Asante Kotoko, it's not because some of us love the club, but you always have to give it up for the fans and the contribution they make to making the club what it is. I always believe that Kotoko could be far bigger, far better. Kotoko could be competing at the levels with Ahly and Zamalek and the team that won the Champions League recently, the Wydad Athletic Club, WAC. But that is if Kotoko will try and re-engineer a few things. And it starts at the level of ownership, in my opinion. and then what ownership will do, working with whoever takes over the running of the club. And we require some level of consistency because Kotoko over the years hasn't lived what it refers to itself, being what the club, the biggest club in Ghana, and the sort of followership they have and or following they have, etc. But this is a good start. I pray that they can improve the team going into next season because they'll play in the CAF Champions League, and it shouldn't just be let's go in there and get out as quickly as we got in.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. And the support is absolutely needed, and both physical and financial, because Nana Amposa spoke about the fact that government should be able to step in. When you leave the clubs to just the ownership to run, sometimes it can become difficult. But even in the case of Kotoko, and that's what NS said, if you look at the ownership of Kotoko, they should not be struggling for money or begging for money from government, because you're looking at one of the richest tools on the African continent. So, I mean, what else? They owe it to the people to make the club succeed in Africa next season. So let's do that. Next season, Ghana Premier League, of course, will have 3 new members. That is, one of them is Kotoko Royals. They booked their place in next season Ghana Premier League. 2 weeks ago, we spoke about Samatex gaining promotion. Kotoko Royals have done it. They went head-to-head with Liberty Professionals on the last day. Liberty were playing a different match. Kotoko were also playing a different match. There was one point that separated the two of them, Emma Youth, and actually got a draw. And their fans went absolutely berserk. Take a look at this. All right, celebration everywhere. But well done to them. Hard luck to Liberty Professionals, Daniel. They tried to do a quick comeback. Didn't happen. At some point, it looked like they were going head-to-head with Tema Youth. Then Kotoko Royals won 3 boardroom points. Suddenly got whipped back into the race. And then they go on, and then they win it. It is worth noting that the club is owned by the Eastern Regional FA chairman, Mr. Lemford Asamoah. So make of it what you want. But they are back in, or not back, they are in the Premier League for the first time in their history. This is massive. 2 clubs now have gained promotion for the first time in their history. And the other zone, Zone 1, is going head-to-head. Tamale City and Nswatreman FC finished on exactly the same number of points. They finished on exactly the same head-to-head. Both teams won 1-0 in either game. And so now, we don't just go difference because of the ridiculous issues that happened with Nania FC. And so now it's head-to-head. So if the head-to-head is the same, now we go to, per the Division 1 League regulations, we're going straight to a playoff game between those 2 teams in a neutral venue. And you know most likely that will be in Kumasi or in Accra. But what a dramatic finish to the Division 1 League season in those 2 zones.
Look, friends, I'm surprised. I'm surprised we got here, because you go back a couple of weeks ago and everybody thought it was either Liberty Professionals or Tema Youth. It was a head-to-head. In fact, when they played at Tema, that would look like that was going to be the decider. And then after that, Liberty, of course, they dropped, but they came back. Everybody thought, and I personally thought it was just a matter of time before Liberty clinched promotion. And then you talk about the 3 boardroom points, and the interesting thing about our football here in Ghana, and all of a sudden, now eyes went to Kotoko Royals because now they had a real shot. But what I want to credit them for is their consistency. After that, it wasn't just, so you can't just sit here and say it's because you won.
3 games left, 3 very difficult matches
games
left. They didn't lose
a
single one.
Exactly, they managed to get the points required. And that's why I'm saying you have to give them credit, because you can't sit here and say it's because they got the boardroom points. They had fixtures after that which they had to take care of, and they did their part. In fact, today's game like this was a very difficult game, especially on the last day.
Yeah.
Away from home.
In
Tema against a team that was also supposed to be contenders for that golden spot back to the Premier League, and to go there and to upset the odds and get promotion. Look, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It just shows you how when you see things like this happen, I usually look at the mentality of the team, and it's extremely difficult. It's not just the tactical aspect. It's extremely difficult to gear and psych your players up for such difficult feats like this, to consistently go on in 3 games and then to go to Tema and get the result and get promotion. It's brilliant. Head coach gets praise, and the playing body also needs to get praise, because it was against all
they have
odds.
been around for a while. Kotoko Royals, we heard the name many times. And let's not, we know the most difficult zone to get qualification from is probably zone 1. And I say zone 1 because of all of the violence involved. And you see, unfortunately, we have to point it out. But in zone 1, it's an absolute slaughterhouse over there. The northern region, the BA regions, that area, it's crazy. But in terms of actual quality of football and quality of teams, the most difficult for sure is zone 3. Yeah. Because zone 3 also have so many teams from Accra. And that comes with resources. Yeah. Resources also means better players and better teams. So it's very difficult. In this zone alone, in zone 3, you're looking at maybe about 5 former Ghana Premier League clubs. Inter Allies are there, Liberty are there, Heart of Lions are there, Tema Youth are there. All of them fighting for. That's why when Olympics go on relegation, it takes them a while to come back. When you go Liberty Professionals now, so when you go on relegation in zone 3, it's hard to get re-promoted. And so credit. Let's go to Kotoko Royals. And as you hold on for me, let me go to Abhim Dakwa ladies. They won a trophy today, FA Cup. Somehow they did the double over Hazakis. Last season, Hazakis did the double over them. This season, they got their revenge. Won 1-0 in Kumasi. This was a precursor to the Kotoko game, so which was a really good initiative. Play this one just before the Kotoko match. And there they are. After beating Hazakis ladies in the Women's Premier League playoff match, they beat them again in the FA Cup and lifted the trophy. Beautiful trophy. You see them, some pictures there, FA Cup. They will now play in the CAF Champions League qualifying event. The WAFA Zone B qualifying event to go and represent Ghana. But Ernest, I'm sure from the days when you were active to now, the women's football is kind of, we've come a long way.
I haven't been following very closely, but I assume I saw Hazakis ladies play to the final of the CAF Women's Champions League, and I thought it was good. And you ask yourself, you see Basigi is the coach of the team, and Hazakis ladies could play to that level. And then we've been struggling the past few years to get our women's national team playing well and doing well. So that's a case study we must look at again. But just briefly, Fint. I got some history lessons about Kotoko. The fact that they are the first team to get to the Premier League from Odan or something like that. So Odan will have a Premier League for the first time. So the one giving me the history lessons, I ask a follow-up question. So what does the Premier League do for you guys? Because you all come and complain about all the finances and everything. And I've been thinking something for a long time now. First of all, Fent, we don't need 18 teams to play in the Premier League in Ghana. We don't. The Premier League in Ghana, 14, 12 teams maximum. Great. We don't need up to 48 teams to play in Division 1 football in Ghana. Division 1 football, 18 teams, great. So that we can play a proper Division 1 league football. You see, we keep massaging the issues all the time. And at this level all the time, okay, at the end of the season, we're trying to do a post-mortem, etc. The future of competitive football in this country is minimizing the number of clubs. There are too many clubs playing in the different divisions, and it doesn't help. Do between 16 and 18 teams for Division 1 league football.
I think the FA is working teams, on that, to be fair.
You know, so that because the football people are always fighting this initiative, but it will help them in the long run.
Because
I thought I would just throw in this point.
I agree.
We're hurting ourselves.
Yeah, bottom line is also that the resources are scarce.
How much do you share to 48 Division 1 league clubs? And how much do you share to 18 Premier League clubs. Listen, even the Bundesliga is doing 18 clubs.
Yeah.
The Bundesliga
But they have so much
worth
money.
billions of euros. And the French League and Serie A and Premier League and all. And you think the Scottish Premier League does 10 clubs. And we think we can do 18 clubs. With how much money pumped into it?
We have 16.
No,
Went to
I'm
Congress,
sorry, I'm
decided
looking
that
at
let's have 2.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the business of football and sports.
very
But it's important.
Maybe because my interest is changed over the years. But we need to look at this. Otherwise, the clubs will keep complaining like this. Kotoko will come and they are gone, and a club is relegated. And we're not competitive.
Think about it. The broadcast revenue for Ghanaian Premier League clubs at the end of every season, each Ghana Premier League club gets $30,000. $30,000 is how much the broadcasters give the clubs. $30,000. They don't have any other form of sponsorship. That is all the money they
That's
get.
salary for 3 months.
$30,000 cannot play 3 Kotoko away matches.
Not one, not even one, eh?
No, 3. I mean,
away matches.
Kotoko
Okay, yes.
They spend around 50,000 per away game. 50,000 Ghana cedis.
Like
So $30,000.
So that's $10,000.
Yes. So 3 matches,
guys.
that is it. It's done. So I agree. We need to minimize it. Anyway, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll show you a few more. In fact, we'll show you one game from the Ghana Premier League, Olympics, humbling hearts of oak. And then we'll show you some 2 games from the national teams. The under-17 losing to Nigeria and the Black Stars losing to Japan. All of that still to come. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Gone by, we looked at Kotoko's coronation today. Kotoko Royals have been promoted to the Ghana Premier League. Kampiam Dakoa, they have done the double over Hazakis ladies as well. Let me read a couple of messages from Twitter first, and then we will look at some other messages from elsewhere. C. Gary says, Fentio, did you not say you'll be in Kumasi today for the coronation? That's a question that Rebeth is also asking on Twitter. It says, Fen, I thought you were supposed to be in Kumasi. Anyway, it's always good to see you guys on my set. Scorecard, the best sports program in Ghana. Here is my defense, though. I was supposed to go. Cranton was supposed to host the show. Nimley and Mr. Ernest Cranton was supposed to be. Now, Coach Nimley is sick. So you see, I have to stay back and save the day. So if anything at all, you have to praise me. I've saved the day. Thank you very much. This one says, the medals are an improvement on that of House of Hope, but still poor in my view. Perry says, oh, Ernest Cranton, Mrs. Blackstar's diaries. Farouk says, Tema Youth have always failed whenever the stakes are high. My people really wanted to represent once again in the GPL, but we have to wait for another year again. Say Nature says, let's try and copy nice things. We can do a similar job. And he put 2 pictures of the Ghana Premier League medal and the Premier League, the English Premier League medal. He said we should copy better things. I mean, why should we copy, to be honest? If you're advocating for us to improve, fine, but let's not copy. I think he thinks that our Premier League medal is an attempt, a poor attempt at copying the English Premier League medal. So, Mark Paradise, a coach, hey, senior coach, he says most Ghanaians are happy we've qualified to the World Cup. So Japan beating us in an international friendly is not a big deal. GFA, what has happened to our juvenile teams? Please save our image small. Greet my brother Ernest for me.
Wow.
Kobe says, the way the under-17 was trashed shows perfectly that the handlers of our youth team is worse. It's not. I pray the under-20 women won't be trashed in Peru. It's in Costa Rica. The tournament is in Costa Rica. But for the Kotoko medals, dear, said that the same say up. I will read the rest of the message. Let's not do this. I've seen the medals. Better than what they gave House of Folk last season. Better than what they gave Ampem Dakwa when they won the Women's Premier League title. So it's an improvement. Kakra, small, we'll get there. Nungwa Sholifinho, he says, good evening, Fent, and the guys there. I'd like to congratulate Fantabulous Kumasa and Kotoko. And this is a message from Maruf from Kaduna. He says, okay, Maruf, thank you. Oh, okay, Maruf's Twitter handle is Nungwa Sholifinho, but he's tweeting us from Kaduna. Asiwome says, apart from the 206 World Cup preparation friendlies, you feel the rest of our friendly matches are scheduled for the money we get. Interesting. Eldad says, oh wow, Fentio, is that Daniel Cranton's brother? I think they look alike.
I think they started.
No, they are not brothers. They may be distantly related, but not in the immediate sense. Eugene Osetutu says, Ernest is one intelligent guy. I agree 100%. He has a PhD now. So, you know, he says everything you need to know about the guy. He's a doctor. So he's operating in a different realm. The way me, he's a doctor. I'm Mr. Daniel is just Daniel. So
Well, Daniel is not Mr.
no. You are doctor. I'm Mr. He's just Daniel. It is what it is. PZ J Summer. He says, great to have Ernest Granty on the show. He really was great when he did it back in the day. I'm sure he's coming back. It would have. I'm sure if he's coming back, it would have to be his own station or Citi TV. That's right. Ernest says he's moved on. Now he doesn't want to do.
Why did I say that?
Okay, so are you coming back?
Oh, come on.
Son of Africa says, you Fred, where's Coach Nimley? I've explained. He's the reason I'm not in Kumasi, unfortunately. Robert, he says, congratulations to Kotoko for winning the GPL title. I'm so excited to see Ernest Granty on TV again talking sports. I remember back in the day when I used to watch him on Metro TV. Man, never they grow. Niankra says, House of Folk has lost for the third consecutive time in the league. Coach Bodi needs to be put in a house. Oh, Coach Bodi needs to put his house in order. I'm sure it's what you're trying to say. Before we face Bechem United in the FA Cup.
I agree.
All right. All right, more messages here. This one says, good evening, Fentio. In fact, he says here, in fact, the way Ghana played on Friday, if they continue like that, then Ghana will not be going to pick up any point in the upcoming World Cup. That is from Philip Ametoku inside Kleko Agbozime in Ketu South. This was in fact is hijacking a player from the hands of Madrid is less talked about. We'll get to that. This one says, I and my father, Mr. Ampabing, are watching you live inside Aoshi, or is it Awash? We are enjoying the show. Speedy recovery to Coach Nimley. Thank you very much. Coach, I'm sure he's watching. This one says, we are definitely not fit to host 18 Premier League teams. So you agree with Ernest. Victor Odro from Asimfosu says, good evening, guys. So after winning the Premier League, this is the medal given to the winner of the league. Bring back the love indeed. God bless you guys. He says, I miss Coach. This one says, I am best from Nigeria. And he says, the GH under 17 is good, but what is wrong with the referee? That penalty is very bad. I'll take some more messages, but let's go to that particular game that he just referenced. Wafu Zone B Championship is taking place in Cape Coast, so Ghana is hosting the competition. Played the opening game against Nigeria's Golden Eaglets. They are 5-time world champions in that division, so there are no jokes. In the end, we lost by 4-2.
Good skill from the Nigerian. He goes down. Ebube Okere trying to weave his way into the gun. Emmanuel Michael, spectacular. Brilliant goal. Amazing finish from Emmanuel Michael to hand the Nigerians the lead on 12 minutes.
To win the ball off his man. Didn't have the opportunity to slip the striker through.
That's a good drive. And it's the second goal for Nigeria. Oh, here's Ebube Okere. It is a big striker. Nigeria is looking for inroads, but Kewe Yede's effort doesn't yield any positives. It's Nigeria looking for the third, and yes, they finally get the third goal. Nigeria. Here is Apia. Ghana looking for a consolation, and yes, Ghana pulls one back. Good goal from the striker who just came off the bench, Abdul Razak Salifu.
Yeah. Sounds like scoring.
Nigeria.
The goalkeeping errors there, but this is the goal. It's a really poor goal to concede from a set piece because it's just the ball.
Apia has lost it to Okeke, but it's Ghana looking for a second. That cross will be coming up against Niger.
Concert goes. Concert. Anyway, so that's the bottom line. We lost. But opening game of the WAF Zombie. Pakwesi Fabian is the head coach of the Under-17. After the game, he blamed the MRI. He said the MRI disqualified more than 10 of his players 2 or 3 days before the competition. He said the GFA president ordered a CAF official to conduct MRI, which then disqualified many of his players. And you wonder, how is the GFA president the one ordering CAF official to conduct MRI scan? Isn't that mandatory before the competition? I don't get it. Something is missing there. Guys, help me.
If they fail the MRI scan, it means they are not under 17.
Yes, so why is that an issue?
Why is it an issue?
Or he's saying that the MRI was manipulated?
No. You went to select old men, they've caught you, and you are saying that's the reason why you lost. The players are just not good enough. No, look, the players, I don't think these are not the best under 17 players we have.
I think we know that.
They are not. Yeah. And if we don't stop these things, the results will always expose.
Nowhere.
Which things are you
we're
talking
getting
about?
Nowhere.
Selecting players who are not supposed to be selected because of their affiliation.
They say this is the result of nationwide scouting, comprehensive nationwide.
They've done a very poor scouting job because I don't think Ghana is as talentless as this. I honestly
because there was nothing in this performance to give me any hope whatsoever.
These guys, they are not. You see, and it's not their fault. They are there. They are just not good enough. It's a fact. And
so now we are getting beaten at the senior level and getting beaten
at the junior level. And you see, Fent,
under 20, under 17, we are getting whipped everywhere.
We are playing with these things because someone will say this is supposed to be a final of an African competition. Okay, fine. But you can't continue to hide around the new format of the draw. Because if you do that, then you're never going to make a competition. I can bet you, yes, it's not about just losing to Nigeria. It's the manner in which they lost. Yeah. They were totally outplayed, they were totally outcoached, and then they were beaten by a good 4-2 at home. Yeah. At home. So Nigerians showed up when? Was it 2 days ago? Yeah. And then they rest and they wake up and they come and beat you by 4-2 at home.
At some point it was 3-0.
It's so embarrassing. It honestly shouldn't be happening because our under-17 team traditionally is a top. Look, the Starlets are. Everybody knows the Blacks. Yeah. We know that when we go out.
Won the World Cup before anybody else.
Before anybody else, and now Nigeria is coming in. They are just making fun of us. Nigeria took us out of the women's AFCON qualifiers. Nigeria will probably take us out of. They took us under 20. Under 20, they took us out. Now Nigeria has come to beat us again at under 17 level. If nothing makes you sit up and do something about. Your arch rivals can be beating you for fun at every level.
At every level.
Look.
Yeah. Come on. Anyway, let's move it on because NSD is tired of those things. So Wakasa and Kosishe. So now we need to move the conversation on. The Black Stars. So now we're just losing everywhere. Hey, unbelievable. The last time the under 21 a game, you have to go to the final of the U20 AFCON back last year. They've lost like 4 or 5 games per tour in a row. Then they finished what? They said 11th out of 12 teams.
They won their last game.
Yes.
They beat Saudi Arabia.
But they finished what?
Yeah, so we are in June and they are now winning their first match in the year.
And they finished what?
They finished 11th out of 12.
Out of 12 teams.
Yeah, because they beat Saudi Arabia.
So Saudi Arabia at the Maurice Revello tournament, formerly we went to France. Out of 12 teams in France, Ghana, we were 11th. And they gave us a trophy and we were celebrating that we were 11th because we beat Saudi Arabia. Now we've gone to under 17. They scored us 3 against Nigeria. When we scored 1, they come and see we're celebrating and doing like comeback is on. And they added some. We have gone to Japan as well. Japan with the senior national team. Then we went there and we took 4-1. Porto, 4-1. Okay? And I intentionally did this. I left this and I left the commentary in Japanese for you to enjoy the embarrassment in Japanese. Enjoy. Easy peasy. The Japanese didn't even have to try. They didn't even have to try. The gates were open. Ernest, I mean, this is an interesting one. People say it wasn't their strongest team. Okay, but it's still Ghana. It's still the Black Stars. So when you show up against Japan, you don't expect to be embarrassed.
Yes.
I mean, you can lose. Yeah. But that was embarrassing.
Okay, so we have a game on Tuesday, is it? Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday.
14.
So Tuesday. That we see the progress we make after after Japan,
Friday, yeah.
and then also Friday when they get in and they play in the All-Star game. I'm sure we'll talk about that a bit later.
Yeah, that's coming up.
But this is it. You see, when you attend events like this, and it is supposed to be friendly to look at other players, you make it strictly that way. You see, you make it strictly that way. You don't have to necessarily play your strongest team if you want to look at other players. You know, it's not about creating excuses. It's not about finding excuses or why we lost and the fact that we played a weaker team, etc. But for me, for exercises like this, we must be clear what we go in for. I mean, so why are we there in Japan for this tournament or for this round of friendly games? What do we want to see, etc., etc. So then, if the coach is very clear what they are seeking, then I would always say that they are always fringe players. You know? So maybe you also want to use the opportunity to look at the fringe players. Because another thing, I'm not trying to, how do you call it, audit the technical approach of the coaches, Utuado and his team, no. But we just have to be clear. When we're behind the TV and we're watching the Black Stars play, we have to be clear what we're doing. If we're playing in a friendly, whatever the plan is for the friendly, we've got to be clear. If we're playing a competitive game, we've got to be clear. Our playing approach, playing style, everything. Yeah. And I think it's something we have a long way from achieving. We still have to work on that.
Okay. Yeah. Daniel, your thoughts on this game? I mean, everyone says it's only a friendly game, obviously. But when you lose 4-1, and especially for a national team that hasn't won a game for a long time, I always say this, that if you don't take care, losing...
1 or 2 wins in nine games.
Losing can become a bit of a habit. And it almost looks like this team is getting used to not winning. You know, even if it's a friendly game, everybody says it doesn't really matter. Win, because winning can also become a habit.
Yes.
You get used to winning, it's good for you, it's good for the mentality of the team.
Yeah.
We've always cried for fringe players to be given the opportunity. A lot of them were, and they were a complete letdown.
Yeah, I perfectly understand you. And it's true, winning is a habit. When you consistently get the wins under your belt, it becomes a part and parcel of you, and it helps in player psyche and mentality. But as Ernest said, we need to be clear in terms of the approach of this game, for this game. Look, things must be put in context. Now, at the start of this window, this international window, the head coach named 33 players for this game. Now, he had them available for the first 2 games in terms of the first 2 qualifiers, Madagascar and then Central African Republic. But then after that, going into this one, he had just 18 players available because players had to pull out, and some were injured, some were ill, some had personal things to go and deal with. And if you look at the class and the pedigree of the players who left as compared to the guys who were behind, it took a lot of quality out of this team.
Yeah.
You had the likes of Antoine Semenyo and Kofi Tre and Idrisu Baba, and almost, look, top players had to pull out. If you look at the starting lineup that Otuado fielded for this game, it had 3 debutants in it. It had just 4 regulars. It had 3 debutants, and the rest of them...
one centre back, really?
Yeah, just one specialized centre back. Look, so there were already problems in the team before, and then you look at the approach he used. Now, if you go back to a couple of months ago to that Nigeria game, you look at the 3-back system he used. You can tell that it's something he's trying to build and something he's trying to get the players used to. So you can't blame him for doing that. We saw him use a defensive midfielder in Idrisu Baba in a 3-back system against Nigeria. We saw a similar thing against Japan with Edmondado asked to do that job. If you don't give the players the room and the opportunity to test out what you want to do in the future, how are you going to know if they are good enough or they are not? And that's why friendlies are there. So for somebody to come out and say, why did he use Edmondado as a defensive midfielder? Against Nigeria, there was a need. And Idrisu Baba stepped up and he did the job. When you go to the World Cup, different needs will arise. So you need to have that trust in your players. I need to know that when I call on Idrisu Baba, he'll be able to do this job for me. When I call on Edmondado, he'll be able to do this job for me. People were talking about Barnier coming off the bench, being played as a right wing back. Barnier doesn't play like that. The team wasn't playing a system that accommodated natural wingers. So if you came on, the coach also needs to know, if I happen to take you to the World Cup, or in the future, if I need somebody to come and step into this position?
Are you able
Can
to
I
do
trust
that?
you?
Yeah.
That's why friendlies are there. When Thomas Tuchel walked into Chelsea, his first game he played, his specialized right back or right wing back was not available. Who did he use in that position? Calum Hudson-Odoi, who in his whole life had never played in that position. But Hudson-Odoi did well. And then for a sustained period of time, he was playing in that position. Yeah. Now, he's almost like the deputy right wing back for Chelsea. So what it does is that it gives the manager options. He can play in the front three. He can play as a right wing back. It helps. That's why friendlies are there. I don't think friendlies are there for you to go and flex your muscles and win by 5-1. And then you know that you have
those ones, excuse me, but those ones they've got their period.
Exactly.
They've got you have time to go flex your muscles, etc. Now the Argentine team, they're only 4 games away from equaling what Italy did in 3 years. They hadn't lost a game. Yeah. They played 38 international games. Yeah. It culminated in Italy winning the Euros. Yeah. The Argentines played almost 30 games without losing a game. It culminated in them winning the Copa
America.
Okay. If Argentina continue this way, because now Argentina is a scary side, not because they have the best talented players playing for them, but it is because of that run. Yeah. These guys haven't lost a game in 3 years. So you've got time for all of the different things you do in a football team, okay? And this is one of them. So if the Argentines continue this way, there will be a fearsome side in Qatar in a little over 4 or 5 months. So that is one approach. The other approach is, if you're on a losing streak, it also could be detrimental to your ahead of taking part in a major competition. Yeah. Now, Danny mentioned what we use friendlies for instance. So in this game, was there an opportunity to look at French players, or was an opportunity to try out different things? My opinion is, because of a lot of suspicion on the part of people who follow football in Ghana, we are suspicious of what coaches do and what players line up on the pitch to do. So like you mentioned, Thomas Tuchel. Tuchel does this at Chelsea, and Chelsea followers in this country, including Fento, will applaud him and say, oh, look at Caltech, he's a great player on the wings, or the other one.
James.
Yeah, he's great on the wings. Because what we trust these coaches, we think that they can be trusted, they are transparent.
And they are independent.
And they are independent. But on our part, and with African coaches, because of the suspicion, we don't allow for them to experiment to build the sort of teams they've got to build. Algeria went on a long run. They won the Africa Cup of Nations. Now, when things began to capitulate for them, what happened? They got the AFCON, and they were beaten by a weakened Cameroon for that place in Qatar 2022. So I always look at it this way. Life itself is full of dynamism, and you've got to be mindful of the dynamic nature of life. So we are building a team. What exactly are we looking for? Okay, so we're going to a tournament. We have 5 months, barely 5 months to prepare. Now we've got to work on the things we need to do to be ready for what's the name of the tournament? Qatar 2022. Yeah. We don't have room to do a lot of many different things. Yeah. So let's get right to the point and do it. And then there are times you say, okay, we're playing friendly matches to flex our muscle, give opportunities to young players to show what they can do, but not necessarily in a World Cup year. Because Leonard Scaloni, who is there, has a very good idea who will start in whose place and whose absence, etc.
Yeah. I agree 100%. But you see, I think, I guess 100%. Like, we have no business losing this game. But then again, like Daniel said, it was a forced situation.
Yeah. And Japan have been very poor too, you know. I mean, recently,
they have been on a poor
run. They've been very, very poor. They had to qualify to Qatar by a stroke of luck.
They have been on a poor run.
So for them to come out as good as they looked against us,
because bottom line, you see, like you said, Daniel, that the situation was forced. But at the same time, when you look at some of the withdrawals, if it was important enough, they had no business withdrawing. You understand? They had no, because some of them had already agreed that they weren't going even before they got called up. And so if it was very important enough,
Ghanaian players.
Yeah, the Ghanaian players.
I thought some had COVID.
Those happened. But we're saying the way
some withdrew.
Whose coaches had already, or clubs had already told the GFA that these guys are not flying 16 hours to Japan to play.
And we didn't plan with that prior.
Yeah, you know, and so for me that's my challenge. And if you look at it from that perspective, then you have very valid reason to be disappointed.
What are we looking for, Fent? I mean, what are we doing prior to Qatar 2020?
We don't have enough
November.
matches.
It's a little.
We don't have enough windows.
What are we
doing?
doing?
Have enough games.
Look, I perfectly understand that point, but
Daniel,
we can't.
You hold your horses. We'll take a short break. When we come back, you finish that point with me, and then we can move on to talking some legendary stuff that happened over the weekend, and that will continue this weekend. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Let me take some more messages here before Daniel gets to finish his point about the Black Stars. Like I said, Arts of Focus lost this weekend to Great Olympics. That was a 3-0 defeat. Some of you don't like the medals at all. I have said that the medal is better than what we saw. Yes.
If somebody does something very poor,
Yeah.
and then the following year they do poor,
Yes.
why should you commend
The
them?
next year, where will it be?
No, it's not about that.
But it's about that. It's about
No, you see,
progress.
there's an ability to make it very good,
Yeah.
which we've seen. We've seen university medals. We've seen them, which are very good. Look, a medal it's not any grand something that we need to beg you to make it good. The fact that last year's own was very poor and this one is better than last year's own doesn't mean that this one is good. It is not. Look, it's not.
But here's the
befitting
point,
of a
though.
championship. It is not.
Okay, so here's the point. Kotoko officials were called to the FA.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Friends,
you're not listening to me. You're
friends,
not listening.
It doesn't matter.
You're not listening.
No, you see, my point is,
do you
we
know why it
shouldn't even
matters?
sit here. We should We shouldn't even sit here and be divided on the design of a medal. We shouldn't be sitting here. If something is nice, it's nice. The fact that you're sitting and saying, and you see your defense is better than what we saw last year. That is not a good enough defense. The fact that Kotoko people want to see it and they say we like it doesn't mean it's good. It is not befitting.
But I have seen it. I say I like it. You say it's not good.
No.
So what's your problem?
Fento, we don't bring in the teams at this point. What happened to standardization? That okay, so the Football Association owns and administers the competition.
Exactly.
Whether a club comes and says, I like this medal or not, it's inconsequential. The most important thing is, what does the FA deem the most appropriate to do?
It's as simple.
What's the quality levels we want to put out there? And that's it. Okay. So if the quality is this, the clubs accept it. So it has nothing to do with, okay, so we call the clubs to come and we're thinking this is what we want to do. And the clubs say, oh, it's good enough. Let's go with it. No, that's not.
It's funny because, honestly, having seen the medal and having held the medal, it feels a lot different than when they put it up in the picture.
I didn't know you had quality control.
Officers.
Expertise. No, I didn't know you. I didn't know you.
So.
You studied quality control.
I know where you're coming from.
This is what ISO 59. ISO international standard.
You see, honestly, because I've looked at perhaps, and that's the point you're making. In the midst of what the options were, it was either this or some of what they gave House of Folk last season.
And that shouldn't be so.
And
that's my
but
point.
You see,
it shouldn't be so.
But you see, I think, I've said this many times. You see, I've said this many times. And the GFA just refused to listen all the time, right? You've got medals to present. There is a story behind the medals. You have failed to tell the story behind the medals. You have failed to do proper product shoots. And so anyone with iPhone 2.5 takes a picture, it's blurry, it's ugly, they put it on Twitter and everybody jumps on it. You hold that medal, the player holds the medal, it feels different. It looks different. It feels quality. But you don't tell us that this is a medal that was designed by local artisans, that was conceptualized by a local entrepreneur, that had 24 karat gold in it. You don't tell the entire story, nobody knows, and everybody just assumes that it is some bagger wire goldsmith somewhere that just picked a hammer and knocked it around and came to put it around the players.
The medal was 24 karat gold.
Yes.
We're sure about that. I mean,
we are sure about that. Okay. That's what they're saying.
No, I'm asking.
Exactly. And if it's true, because you'll be lying to us if you tell us that it's not true.
The gold, what? There's 18.
18
and
24.
24 is the highest.
Is the highest. And
so these guys have got gold around their neck.
and we have, yes. And that's the thing.
No, in Kumasi now. The guys in Kumasi. Gold is not exactly safe, is it?
It is. That's the point. That is
24 carats. Gold is,
but Ernest,
walking around.
Yeah.
I'll sell it if I was a player.
Where's your wedding ring? I was going to say there's gold. There's probably gold in it, but nobody comes to cut your finger.
No, that's
when they say there's gold, it doesn't mean that the
making.
whole thing is just made of gold. For gold to be used to make things, it's gold mixed with ore.
So why this conversation about what makes a good medal or otherwise? And
it's because people think this is ugly.
Because it's ugly. It's what people think is ugly.
Okay.
Ugly.
The finishing is a bit lacking, but I
so
think
you admit
overall,
the finishing is a bit lacking.
Yeah, and I've said that before, but I think, Kotoko, anyway, let's move it on. We can't agree on this.
Fent is just excited that it's better than what Hearts of Focus did last year. That's why he's excited.
Down there is true. I just feel more excited because it looks better than what Hearts of Focus had last season was Cantes. You know?
I'm telling you.
But that had gold too, or that one 15 karat gold, or 12.
It was not gold.
That wasn't gold.
And that wasn't gold
They
at
bought
all.
it at China Mall.
No, okay, hold it. So we moved from 0 gold to 24 karat.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's impressive, eh?
Please,
If we move from 0 gold to 24 karat gold, that's a big deal.
Fahu Kimi. Fahu, you are joining the agenda. You know it.
That's a big deal.
All right, guys. Let me take you to the Baba Yara Stadium because I need to jump into a conversation here. BVB Legends came to town and they took on Ghana Legends. That was yesterday. That match ended 2-2. Let's show you some footage now. Some of our players still showing that they've got it.
Very well, and he had a great opportunity to score that first goal, then that hit the crossbar. Now 10, really, so tight. Still in that first half, we're looking for the first goal, and Stephen Appiah with that wonderful sweet pass, and that goal from Augustin Ahefo, who signed for Dortmund but never really played for the first team, giving them a reminder side. Donko has been, but of course now Dede, and then that quick turn and the lovely move and a slight touch there as Kirch came down. It was a penalty, and Mo Zidane reminding tell us about him, but I just give you an opportunity too after that. Now the left-hand side as they try to roll in again. Hit a shot, and that was Sperling, and what a goal! What a goal there by the Borussia Dortmund legends. That was really, really good. You did not see that coming. You didn't really. Kojua someone left-footed. Lovely flick and trying to get back onto it again. And he turned over, and he scored the goal. And it's looking very good there as the African Giants get that equalizer. Prince Tego, the Prince of Goals. And on the night when he had to show it, did it.
All right, so Prince of Goals, Prince Togo, showing that he still got it. He still got it. Done it there at that stadium many, many times, and he's back there. But what a lovely flick from Kwame Ayew. But we're about to have double dose of that. So this was BVB Legends against Ghana Legends. This coming weekend on Friday night, 7 p.m., there is Black Stars. Yeah. All of the Black Stars players, including Past and Karen, they're also up against the Arthur Legacy 11 in this game. That is dubbed what? Legends Night. It basically is what it is. Let's take a short video from this, and then when we come back, I'll ask Ernest what this is all about.
Hi, I'm Andre Ayew.
My name is Mustafa Yusuf.
My name is Richmond Boachi Yadon. We have a big game coming on, the CTB All-Star Games.
Come to the Accra Sports Stadium on the 17th June 2022.
Come and join the Blaster, cheer them up as they say thank you to you for the support that you have given them over the years.
And you have the opportunity to see all the stars playing.
Troop into the stadium, buy your tickets online.
Get your e-tickets.
Get your e-ticket.
Get your e-tickets by dialing *713 *33 *00# or send #00# to 0242 426427 and follow the prompt.
We're waiting for you.
All right, you're waiting for us. We are coming. Ernest,
yes.
Tell us what this is all about. The CTB All-Stars game, Friday.
Yeah, so Friday, 17th June from 5 p.m. we're getting together at the Accra Sports Stadium. Okay. It is special because we all know, we're talking about how many games the Black Stars haven't won this year. I think they won their first game against
win this one.
Was it against the Comoros?
Yes.
In
Madagascar.
Madagascar. In Kumasi, was it?
No, Cape Coast.
Cape Coast. Okay, so it was the first game they won. And possibly we may win against Chile. Even if we don't, there's the opportunity for us to win on Friday. The Black Stars team is taking on Arthur Legacy 11.
Okay.
Arthur Legacy is a football agency administered by Oliver Arthur. Oliver Arthur is one of the foremost football agents, not just in Ghana but in Africa.
Okay.
Oliver has been doing this for a while, and currently he has players on his books, including the likes of Efri Akwa, Kujwa Samoa now. There is Richmond Boachi Adom, there's Afrinajan, there's Isaac Kofi, and many other young people. So Arthur Legacy can produce for you an easy 11 to take on any team in the world.
Yeah.
Then the Black Stars team, by virtue of what we have done, qualified to play in the World Cup in Qatar, want to say, okay, let's get together and say thank you to Ghana. It is so important because we don't get these guys come together to play in ceremonial games like this. This is a ceremonial game, but going to be very competitive. And Andrea Yu is leading the lines, leading his boys, and we're asking for everyone to come to the stadium. It is on Friday evening because when you're in town, you don't have to knock off and go home and say, okay, we'll do on Saturday, come. No. So Friday, we spend the rest of the evening together. We have a good idea what we'll do for, how do you call that? The games you play before the main game, the curtain raiser. We have a surprise for the curtain raiser. And these boys are going to be there to interface, to engage with the fans, because these things don't normally happen.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to it on Friday, the 17th of June at the Accra Sports Stadium.
Interesting. Tell us about some of the, apart from the Black Stars team, we know all of those who are coming, but for the Arthur Legacy 11,
yes,
who are these guys that are going to be lining up against the Black Stars?
Okay, so let me try and produce a mental picture of what we will see on the day. So in Arthur Legacy, I mentioned earlier that Kujwa Samoa will play, Isaac Kofi will play. He recently won the Turkish Cup with his club. Efri Akwa will play in the middle of the park. That's a veteran of 2 Africa Cup of Nations competitions. Afrinajan is about Ghana's sensation now. One we're hoping to blossom, to develop and blossom as our main striker. And then there are some very good players too who will be playing in the Arthur Legacy 11. For the Black Stars team, you can count on all of them, from Razak Brahima to Fatah Dauda to Gideon Mensah to Samuel Inkum to Sule Muntari. I mentioned some of the old guys will be coming through as well. We all know the story of Sule Muntari and how he's galvanized some level of support, interest and following for the Ghana Premier League. So he will be there as well. And then we've got Andre and his brother, and we've got from Richmond Boachi Yadom Waris. When was the last time you saw Bernard Champon play? Former Santi Kotoko, it was Sportive du Sahel.
Last time I heard about him, I actually interviewed him when he was in Qatar fighting his So Bernard Champon is playing, Emmanuel Boateng is playing, of Dalian Yifang is playing, and then we haven't watched Aziz Tete play football for Ghana at the Black Stars level. He was a phenomenal player in the under-17 team, and we've talked about how these people, such players, haven't gotten the opportunity to play in the Black Stars team. Aziz Tete will be there, Awal Mohammed will be there, Kasola Mohammed, who played for the Qatar national team for 10 years, will be there. It is a star-studded team on both sides. And for us, I mean, for the fans who are coming, the main thing is these guys who play this ceremonial game, but before and after, want to spend time with the fans. They want to take photos with the fans. They want to, dance to some good music. We have some good artists coming to perform, etc., etc. It is primarily to say, guys, we thank you for the support over the period. I ran up to the World Cup, to qualifying for Qatar 2022, and we couldn't have done it without you. So that's what we're celebrating on Friday night. Yeah, interesting. For a lot of the fans that are looking to get tickets, obviously, there's an e-ticket platform where they can get tickets. There you see.
There you see it. And there are those who are saying, okay, we like e-ticket, yes. But some of us are going to come to the stadium. We'll be waiting for you. If you don't have your e-ticket, you come to the stadium. We know what to do to get you into the stands to watch the game. So, but you see, when you get your e-ticket, it's easier. You get to the venue and you just get in, and you can find a comfortable place to sit. But even if you don't get your e-ticket, come to the gate. We know how to get you in there. The tickets are so affordable. Yeah. Tickets are going for as low as 30 CDs, 50 CDs. 30 CDs. Yes, 50 CDs and 100 CDs. 100 CDs for the top VIP area. You know. So the tickets they are not pricey at all. They are easy.
What else is happening apart from the game on that night? Is it just the football or it's like a whole fanfare?
All right, so the CTB is Calcio Treble. Yes. Calcio is football in Italian. And over the years, Arthur Legacy, my partner Oliver Arthur and his company, he's done a lot of business in Italy. It's a stronghold. He's taking a lot of players to Italy. So there's a special bond and relationship between the Arthur Legacy family and the Italian embassy. So the two organizations are collaborating to do this with the support of the Ghana Football Association and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And we're widening the scope of the CTB. You are the CTB, 3 years ago, was it? We haven't done it for 2 or 3 years because of COVID and other issues, mainly because of COVID. So bringing it back, we thought we'll expand it a bit. And the expansion means we're doing a seminar on the Thursday, which is the 16th at Kempinski. It's open, it's free, but for a limited number of people because it's strictly by invitation as well. And we're focusing on player exploitation. You know, so the theme of the whole project is Stop Player Exploitation, Save Football. You know, so that we can have conversations with young people who are engaged in football at every level, and not just them officials, club owners, club administrators, officials, etc. So the seminar is on Thursday, the 16th. Then the football game is on Friday from 5 p.m. At the Accra Stadium. Then on Saturday, we crown it all with a climax, which is the dinner and the awards night. There are 6 awards we're giving away and 1 honorary award for an individual who's distinguished himself contributing to football the last 3 decades. 32 years or so he's been doing football. And it's a very special one. And there are people who have also done different things, you know, to make football what it is in this country, and we will be recognizing them for their respective roles. So the dinner and the awards night the climax is on Saturday the 18th at Kempinski, but that's strictly by invitation. So what allows us to interface with the public is the football game on Friday. So come there. When you come for the football game, there will be no need to worry about the dinner, because the dinner will not be as special as spending time with these boys at the Accra Stadium.
That's right. So it's very packed this year, but the crowning moment, of course, being the dinner. But the one that is most accessible to all of us is the football game on Friday, June 17th. So be there at the stadium from 5 p.m. The Black Stars, all of the players, both active and those that you thought or felt should have been called up, but not called up, they will be there. You get to see them play against another Legacy 11. I believe you also have international players coming in.
Yes. There are non-Ghanaian players where we know Frank Kessier, who plays with Milan and is recently signed for Barcelona. We're not sure if that deal is gone through, because I was hoping he wouldn't leave Milan, but if the guy wants to go, you can't do much about it. He's confirmed he's coming. I know Milan fans in this country are really looking forward to it.
I have one on my desk.
He's called the president. We'll try and convince him not to go. He hasn't signed the deal with Barcelona, I understand. So we'll try and convince him to take our offer so he stays. So Frank Kessier is coming. There are other players we're working on to be here on Friday for the All-Star game.
All right, that is what it is. Very exciting stuff. Friday. So, like Kenneth said, if you don't have a ticket and you're not into the whole e-ticket thing, that's okay. Just go to the stadium, 5 p.m. on Friday. It's Friday evening. Go watch the game after that. Go have a party.
There's a big party. There's a big party after the game. Big party.
Inside the stadium?
No, yes. I get the sense it will be the biggest outdoor party for free
Where in the stadium?
In the stadium, of course. In the stadium, right after the game, on the pitch, in the stands.
You're setting up speakers.
Big party, yes.
Oh,
big party.
Charlie.
We want to make it fun. We want to start celebrating our participation in the World Cup before we go, so that Danny won't say that, look at them, they went to the World Cup, they lost their first game. No. Let's celebrate before we go.
There was a time when we used to do send out parties for the Black Stars.
Yes. Send out games. One national team, one of the African national teams won a game recently and gave the government gave each player 30,000 gave the team some huge some money without even booking a place in the tournament, in the finals. But sometimes you celebrate before the real thing. So we're celebrating qualifying to be in Qatar. Don't forget, we're not in.
I think it was Ethiopia,
in Russia. Ethiopia
when
also.
They beat Egypt.
Yes. So why can't we also celebrate beating Nigeria fiercest?
So let's go and celebrate. It's very important.
So
anyway.
Let's come and have a party together.
They said they did a massive party for the Ethiopians. Funniest thing is they didn't even play the game in Ethiopia because they don't have a
standard stadium.
Let me take you to Mauritius. We want a medal in Mauritius in athletics. We're talking women's high jump. Rose Yaboa won the women's high jump gold medal. This is the African Athletics Championship. There she is. She's still a student at UCC. Also won a gold medal at the African Championship. At the African Games in Rabat in 2019. So she's very talented. There she is. If lifting the flag of Ghana high was a human being, that is Rose Yaboa there. Massive props to her. She's also a Gusa Games champion. There she is, beautifully leaping over that bar at 1.79 meters. It was rainy on that day. You can see the conditions very, very wet, very difficult to get off the ground.
A lot of things happen in Mauritius with regard to athletics. No, athletics.
Oh, athletics,
yes.
Oh,
we had one professional athlete based there. I don't know if she's still there.
Oh, Vida Emin used to be camped here. Vida was camped here for a long time. But Joseph Paul was also a medal hopeful. He competed in the 200 meters. The heats went well, won the heat quite comfortably. There he is from lane 2. This is his heats, all right? In that bright yellow, unmissable. He's worn some big glasses. I don't know what that's about. But he won his heats quite comfortably. There he is, slowing down at the end. And then went into the semi-finals. But the semi-finals didn't go particularly well. This is his semi-final race, Joe Paul. And there he is in lane 4, I believe. Coming around the bend, you can't see him in the picture. Now you see him. There he is in the glasses, next to the Ivorian in yellow. Or is that orange? Ivorian in orange, Joe Paul in, but he's struggling, getting to the end. It looks like he gave up there, finished 4th, missed out in a place in the final. 20.79 was not good enough, to be honest. Even the heats, he ran 20.52. So it was won by Munya. Munya is a veteran South African sprinter there. So not the greatest, or not the best of competitions for him, but he still got... In fact, Sean Safu Entry also competed in the 100 meters. He also made it to the semi-finals, but also didn't make it out of the semi-final into the finals. He finished 5th in the semi-finals to miss out on a place in the finals. This competition, of course, didn't have some of our best athletes because of the NCAA championships that were happening the same weekend. And 2 of the girls actually finished 2nd, so All-American. To finish 2nd in the NCAA Nationals means that you're the 2nd best athlete in the whole of American college. And Abigail Quatsing finished 2nd in the women's high jump. And she did 1.92. She matched her national record. It's incredible what she did. Rose won gold in Mauritius, jumping 1.79. Abigail jumped 1.92 at the NCAA National Championship and still finished 2nd. Tells you what the standards really are. And then, of course, there was also a 2nd place or silver medal for Deborah Aqua in the long jump. And both of those jumpers are national record holders in their respective events. So it was a good weekend for Ghanaian jumpers all around, but not the best, of course. But also in boxing, Samuel Techi was in action against a South African. Daniel, I don't know if you managed to keep an eye on this.
Yeah, he won.
He won. The second round TKO. It was shown on Super Sport. There he is.
Very impressive. This is his second professional bout.
Yeah.
It's always good when you talk about winning being a habit. He continued that winning run from the Olympics. And some people advise him not to turn professional, but he's done so. He's won the first one, he's won the second one, and both of them have been very impressive.
But why shouldn't he go professional? Why?
That's the point.
That's the point. But look, he's
showing in his corner.
Yeah, he's showing some incredible technique, and you can see growth from the Olympics. It's really lovely to watch.
Bam, that's right. So I agree with you 100%. Samuel Techi looks like he's going places. He's in Ikote's corner. Ikote, Bazooka Kote is the one managing him. So hopefully he can guide him to greater things, because Ike himself is a former world champion, so he knows exactly what it takes to be a world champion. So we'll see what happens there. But do we have F1? Just show you F1. There was UEFA Nations League matches as well, but I want to skip that. And because there was some comfortable wins for Belgium, France and Austria ended 1-1. And Netherlands also ending 1-1, 2-2 in their game with Poland. So England also getting involved in the action there. Okay, so the F1. Let me show you one of those matches. The Netherlands 2-2 draw with Poland. Cracking game of football. Take a look. Didn't have time to show you all of that. But in the F1, it was a 1-2 for Red Bull. Max Verstappen led that. Kotoko or Sergio Perez, he finished second there, and of course the Mercedes driver, the young one, George Russell, completing the podium places there. Lewis Hamilton finished fourth, one driver of the day, had an incredible run today. In the NBA, it's heading to Game 5, locked now at 2-2, isn't it? In that finals playoff between the Celtics and the Warriors. So we'll see what happens at the end of it. But Steph Curry seems to be having the season of his life. We'll see if he can lead them to glory. But for now, that's all time will allow us for. An hour and a half is flown by, like we've been here for 2 minutes. But it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here, Ernest.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a real pleasure.
Breaking my virginity.
That's right. Secondary virgin. Okay, let's go. Not important. But Daniel, thank you as well.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having all of you here joining us on the show. Until next time, my name is Fentio, Tahiru Fentio. Do take care of yourself, and bye-bye.